talking basketball. They're fucking dumb as shit. They don't know basketball, but they will make dumb ass jokes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pod Don't Lie with Sam and Stav. We're back, Daddy. Both your daddies are home. After you didn't think we'd come back.
You said daddy first. I was like, shit, which one of us is daddy?
Yeah. That's a great question. Which one, if we had to be daddy, who's daddy?
Probably you, honestly.
It's probably me. Yeah.
I feel like I'm the one. You'd come home, I'd be like, where were you? I have more of that energy.
Absolutely. Yes, that's true. We're both your absentee fathers. We're your two gay absentee fathers, but we're back. We went out with our friend Marcus for we thought we were just going to go out for a weekend. It turned into, we were in Fire Island for 3 months, but now we're back. We're a little sore, but we're ready to be your fathers again for the next 6 months or so, as long as the NBA season goes.
I'm excited, dude.
Dude,
I'm
pumped.
really excited.
I'm fucking pumped as hell. We had a preseason game. We had the fucking Nets and the Lakers. I had it on. Nothing better than when you start. What I'm really and okay, here's what pissed me off, because it was on NBA TV, and I just put it on in the background because there's nothing better than just hearing an NBA game in the background when you have shit to do. You know, and then look, I paid attention for like the first 5 minutes, whatever. I was doing shit. I was like, oh, I'll just watch the replay on a League Pass. These motherfuckers, because we're in New York, I was blacked out of watching the replay. I had to wait 3 days. I was like, I have to wait 3 days to watch a fucking preseason game.
You know what's funny? I'm in LA, so I think I'd be blacked out as well. So it's like either way,
we're fucked either way. But
instead, I was disappointedly watching the new Sopranos movie.
Oh, don't even get me fucking started.
I don't want to get you started. It hurt.
It broke my fucking heart, dude.
Dude, you know what?
Maybe we'll save it for the end of the show so we don't spoil up top. We'll end with a little Many Saints of Newark review, but I think you can tell but me and Sam didn't even talk about it, by the way, and I can tell we're 100% simpatico.
I had low expectations due to another friend of ours, and we'll save it.
We're on the exact same boat, my brother. So I will say though, let's go to the preseason schedule tonight after we get off. So we're recording this Mondays, guys. We're gonna try and we're back. Like we said, we're back to our fucking 2 a days or 2 a weeks, 2 a days. Jesus Christ. And we'll be covering shit for you here, but the games haven't started today. So Sunday we had the Nets Lakers game where I was kind of watching Cam Thomas. You know, the Nets second round pick was out there fucking the highlights. This motherfucker's got 21 points. People are like, what a steal. It's like, let's relax. Nobody was fucking playing. Like it was the first preseason game. But tonight, dude, my dick is really hard. And I know it's just a preseason, but just that feeling when there's an emptiness in your soul, and right when you're about to start reflecting, you've finished your work for the day, you have a couple hours, you're about to start reflecting, you're either going to start getting fucked up, you're going to eat like shit, or you're going to call a woman you know you shouldn't.
It feels like it's all about you. You're speaking it like it's a generic
universal
observation.
Truth.
Yeah, all right.
Right when we're all about the house of a whole pint of Ben and Jerry's or take 80 milligrams of edibles. Right when you're about to just turn inside yourself, instead of doing that, you realize, wait a second, it's 7 p.m. It's time to watch the NBA. I can't tell you how many mistakes I've made this summer only because I haven't had an NBA game to just throw on and just suckle at Adam Silver's teat. I can't tell you.
It's not just that. It's Stav. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Can you hear me? I lowered my volume a little bit, but I'm here.
Oh, I lost you for a sec.
I'm back. I'm here. I'm recording.
So, I'm in the same boat here. You know how often I do the road, and like that Thursday night NBA TNT late game has been like a warm blanket for me. The fact that I've had to look at my life this offseason again.
Dude. Thursdays on the road without that TNT game. Do you know I've gained probably 7 pounds because that's been out of my life.
Right.
Solely. I can't tell you how it's like if I don't have just a nice game to go home to go to my hotel room to, I'm staying out, I'm drinking, I'm eating fucking pizza, I'm trying to fuck whoever will let me hide my little prick inside of them for 7 minutes. I'm trying to get it all. But with
it's
that,
nourishing.
I need
Shaq and Barkley. It's nourishment, man.
Oh, dude, my dick is so hard. And tonight, after we're recording at 4 p.m. on Monday, so if anything fucking big happens, sorry. If Kyrie says suck my dick, I'm not getting vaccinated and just like dares the NBA, whatever. But the games today, I'm just gonna be so excited. Even though I'll probably lose interest after a quarter or two, but there's so much to watch today. There's Sixers, Raptors, Magic, Celtics, Hawks, Heat, Pelicans, Timberwolves, Hornets, Thunder.
Hawks Heat's a good matchup.
Awesome, dude. Jazz, Spurs, Warriors, Blazers. Are you kidding me?
I got a question for you right now. Who
Kings,
would win in a
Suns?
playoff series, Hawks versus the Heat? That's a toughie, man.
That is a toughie. I still have to. Who do I want to root against more, the baby nutted villain or the Heat?
Oh, I mean, it would hurt my soul to root for the Heat, but I think I'm gonna have to do it in that series right there.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. And look,
they've got Lowry, who I love, and they've got Jimmy. I mean, they've become more likable. I mean, my soul hurts from rooting against the Heat in the 90s.
Of course.
But the Hawks are the
baby nutted villain has positioned himself and he's soaking it all up, and it's like, you know what? He wants the hate. It's a hatred Bukake of Trae Young this season, as far as I'm concerned.
And I respect him for it.
He's on his knees. He's got his tongue completely open. He's jacking 2 orange and blue cocks off, and he's begging us to bust in his face. We're all in line. I'm in the back of the line, fluffing myself up. I've got a luchador mask on because I'm a state senator, and I don't want anybody figuring out who it is. Months later, I'll be identified with a mole on my right thigh. But for right now, I think the luchador mask keeps me anonymous, and I'm fluffing myself.
I feel like the hair coming out the end and the shape are going to be a problem. There's going to be some issues there, but I don't know if this metaphor. I don't know if I'm on board with this metaphor.
You're beating off on Trae Young's face just like me, pal. All right, the metaphor works. The metaphor stands. Don't try and distance yourself from the Bukake of hate metaphor, because that's
I'm in only because of loyalty to you. All right. And I'm in my Randall jersey. You're in your Quickly jersey.
That's right. That's right. We're both naked from the waist down, but we are wearing the Timbs to complete the New York look, and also because it might get sticky on the floor. We might need a work.
I'm wearing orange and blue Air Force Ones.
Oh, okay. I got my Timbs on, and they're weatherproofed, by the way, because I don't want to catch a stray. And you know, your Air Force Ones might need to be detailed after we get done.
Bukake shrapnel. You don't want to get that. Dude,
I think I'm gonna have to root for the Heat, and I think I'm gonna be forcing my cosmic energy against Trae Young all season. You heard it here first, folks. The baby nutted villain. We will continue to root against his.
I'm absolutely gonna root against him. But what scares me is that team was firing so hard on all cylinders. They're gonna be healthy this year. Like Trae could be an MVP candidate this year.
Oh, you're going too far. I can't go with you.
I don't know if I am, dude. I hate to say this shit. This is me. If it's coming from me, it's real because I fucking hate Trae for what he did to the Garden.
This is like in a presidential, in like whenever they're doing like the presidential debates, they always try and like big up their opponent so that they don't look as bad. And you're saying, oh, he could be an MVP. So then when he has like a mildly like disappointing season, you're like, I guess he's fucking trash. He could have been an MVP.
I am doing that. And I don't know why you had to call that out. I was trying to subtly lay the seed of like, look, this could be his coming out party.
The first unanimous MVP said Steph Curry, more likely than you think. But I'll say about the Hawks, and look, let's pencil next. Let's watch a little preseason before we go through because we'll go through a holistic over-unders of both conferences every single.
Are we doing
team.
it today or next week?
No. We'll do it next week so that we have some time to watch some preseason, do a little research.
I'm down with that.
But so folks, what you're getting is little sprinklings of where our hearts and minds are at right now. And I'm ready to root against the Hawks. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to zig. Everyone's zagging and sucking them off. I'm ready to zig and say fuck them. They're gonna be dog shit.
I think they're going to have a really good regular season and hopefully fall apart in the playoffs.
I think that, I'm saying the Knicks are going to be better than them, brother.
I think the Knicks are going to be better than last year. Like our record might not show it.
Yeah,
but we're going to be better. And I'd rather not be a 4 seed and be scarier in the first round.
Because dude, the Hawks caught everybody off guard. They got perfect matchups. They caught the perfect dysfunctional. Like, look, I loved our team. It was fun to root for them last year. I finally caught on board in the playoffs. I was there. But you have to admit, in terms of like who wasn't going to punish the Hawks defense, it was our pretty one-dimensional offense, right? Like, and especially when the Knicks defense was really good, not against a guy like Trae. You know what I mean? He was exactly the kind of player that gives us problems.
Exactly. You know what? And look, they got the Sixers too, who had some drama.
Exactly. The Sixers, perfect. I mean, on paper, without those personalities, dude, did you see that picture of the pass, of the dunk Simmons passed out of? Did you see that picture?
It was brutal.
The like close up where it's just him and Trae and he's like and he's passed. It was insanity, right? And it's like, I think so. And look, you know what it is? It's like Danny Glover in every Lethal Weapon he's always just can't shoot anybody. Yeah. He does. He definitely feels that way. He's too fucking, he just couldn't dunk. But
no, but getting you on board with the Knicks toward the end of the season, I feel like it must feel like I have a gay friend who's like, I only like straight boys.
Right.
Because I think it's part of like the turning them.
Yes. You turned me out. You turned me out.
Well, you were in love with a man. And that's Giannis, I got you to fall in love with the whole team.
You got me to suck up. I only wanted one dick. You were like, how about 12? How about, I was like,
you're taking Theo Pinson too, dude.
Now I'm on my knees. Now it's my turn for a little Bukake, but this is a Bukake of love, not a Bukake of hate, which is what Trae Young is getting.
I mean, you're singing Sammy, you got me on my knees. Sammy, I'm
making breakfast for 12 like I run a foster home after all 12 of the Knicks have fucked me. I'm just making food in batch. I have those aluminum warming containers like I'm catering a wedding, but it's just to feed all the guys that fucked me the night before.
This is we have the least credibility of any basketball podcast. It's insane.
12 minutes in, back to the podcast, to the free podcast, two separate Bukake analogies. And I'm running a halfway home for men that have sex with my ass as well, who all happen to be the New York Knicks, by the way.
Jesus Christ. And it's funny, I'm yes-anding you only because you've agreed to be a Knicks fan.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell this is going on, but I'm like, I'm down with it because it means he's repping that Quickly jersey.
Oh man, dude, you know I got the Quickly jersey in my fucking closet right now. But yeah, so I'm on the thing of like they got healthy right at the right time, you know what I mean? And it's like I wanna root against the baby nutted villain. That's all I'm saying. Even though I can see, if you're an Atlanta fan, I see why you're very happy right now. I can see it.
Dude, they did that front office did a great job. It pains me to say it, but they built around Trae the way that you need to build around Trae. Like,
and the interesting thing is they haven't even really hit on everyone. Like, you know, Cam Reddish, what does he got? Like he fucking flashed a couple things here and there. Like, what if he looks fucking even better this season? You know what I mean?
Isn't it crazy that Duke team had Reddish, Zion, and Barrett? That's insane, though.
And going into that season, it was like it was not clear who was the best player. Like that's how much potential all these guys had. That's why it's like, you know, I still believe in I still think Cam Reddish might have a little something to say. DeAndre Hunter, same thing. Like
that guy, I think he's good. I think he's a good player.
And he got hurt.
Dude, John Collins, I mean, who knows what he becomes? I know I don't want to open up the Bukake stuff again, because we all know how much you like John Collins. I'll stop with that.
Listen, I'm done with the Bukake analogies, but
thank you.
Let's just say I wouldn't mind if he was number 13. You know what I'm saying on that last one?
Please. He's not a part of the Knicks sex fantasy, dude. Get him out of there. Get him out of there.
Out of respect to you, he's out. But just so you know, I wouldn't mind if he was in.
This is where I draw the line at your sex Bukake. I'm like, not non-Knicks, dude. Not non-Knicks. Let's keep this orange and blue, bro.
Let's keep it MSG based, brother. So anyway, whatever. Fuck the Hawks. We don't have to talk about them that much. But
what do you think about I mean, the East is so weird right now. I mean, we don't have to go too deep into it, but I'm thinking like the Sixers, part of me is like, they're going to be bad. And the other part of me is like, Embiid is going to be the MVP.
Yeah. I think I'm rooting for. Okay, so like everyone knows, this is not a facts-based podcast. This is an emotion-based podcast.
Yes.
And I would like to see the Sixers kind of have like just look awesome without Ben Simmons.
Sure.
Like what would be so sick would if they had like some Cinderella rookie that was like some undrafted rookie that comes in and is just like awesome. Like, I don't see who it could be on the fucking roster. Like, who the fuck is Aaron Henry, Charles Bassey, Jaden Springer? I don't think it's going to be any of those guys, but it would be so funny if they had some kind of like, Donovan Mitchell type,
Tobias and Embiid together, though, is still like you've got scoring punch there.
Yeah. And listen, it's like Seth Curry, it feels like every year has become a better player. I mean, he's 31.
He's basically Redick, that guy. He's had Redick's career a little bit.
Yeah, and look, they don't. But yeah, Tobias, you're right, is a fucking good scorer, and it's like if it could be the kind of thing where Embiid. We talked about in one of the Patreons. We talked about how this guy is already 27. Like, how realistically, how big is his prime? Is it 5 more years? When you're that big, and you've been so injury prone your whole career, but at the same time, and you'd like this to be a season where he does a little more, where he doesn't play as much, or he just kind of, because you saw it last season where it's like he was going hard as shit, and it ended up he paid for it, and he had a really serious injury towards the end.
Well, you need that guy. You need that guy healthy for the playoffs, but they're gonna have to trade Simmons at some. I mean, it's so weird.
Maybe Andre Drummond comes in and has a. We talked about how bad of a signing that was and how weird it was, but it's like, maybe he plays some minutes, but I just would like to see this team. Emotionally, I would like them to just almost say, fuck you, Ben Simmons, and be kind of good. And people talk about how Ben Simmons' trade value isn't going to get better. I actually sort of disagree, because I think the more time he's removed from those shitty playoffs, the more you think of him as the idealized Ben Simmons. Like, everyone's like, well,
like a breakup.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh, I guess it's the opposite of a breakup. Actually,
it's not the breakup. It's like I don't know. Like he had like one really, like he had a really bad showing, right, in the playoffs. But those playoffs are so fresh in everyone's mind because they just happened. When the season goes along, and look, what if one of these contenders or something has an injury or some shit, or has like
right,
or not, what if a big contender has an injury, and then like a secondary team that never thought they would be in the Ben Simmons sweepstakes says, fuck it, let's do it. Let's make this trade. Or what if, I'm not wishing this on the Blazers.
What contender?
I don't fucking know. I'm just saying, like, things shift in the season, and I think team needs will definitely change as the season goes along, and what they want to give up will change. And I also think Ben Simmons' like trade value will go up because people will forget about those playoffs. They'll look at their,
if you're the Sixers, would you do McCollum for Ben Simmons right now?
I think they probably could if they wanted to, and they've decided they don't want to. I would, dude, honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this because I default to play, I'm on the player side almost always. Like, fuck the owners. They can suck my fucking dick. Philly, that trash city can suck my fucking balls. As far as I'm concerned, they can shove one of their fucking hoagies whiz up their fucking coochies. As far as I'm fucking concerned,
I'm so sick of that cheese. I'm so sick of every time you go there, you gotta have a cheese stick every time.
You know what? It's also the quality of. I had Baltimore public schools free lunch. It's a half step above that. It's about a half step above a fucking public
You were
school
proud
free
of
lunch.
Cheese Whiz.
It's fine, but it's also
disgusting.
Like, it's like I can get it. And it's also like you can get a cheesesteak in every fucking city in the fucking world, and it's better. It's like not what
They've got a few good spots, but it's like it's not a every visit meal.
It's also fucking sliced beef, onions, and cheese. I could make you a fucking cheesesteak very easy.
My stomach is tingling as you say it, and it's not a good tingle.
No, it's not a good tingle.
It's like a flashback. It's like a flashback of like not being late to a show because it didn't sit right.
Yeah, telling the feature to do an extra 7 minutes so you could squeeze a little more diarrhea out of your ass.
That happened to me in St. Louis this weekend. I rolled the dice on some rainbow trout at what I thought was a nice St. Louis restaurant.
Hysterical.
I didn't think I'd make it on stage.
St. Louis, how far is the closest fresh? How close is how far is the closest body of water to fucking St. Louis? Yeah, I was in Omaha and I had the fucking Omagiri fucking. I had their sushi lunch tasting, and you wouldn't believe it, but I shit my brains out.
You know what? Now that you mention it, St. Louis is not known for their seafood, and it's not a thought that went through my head.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude, that's so funny.
It hurt. It hurt badly.
So I'm rooting for them to just come out and be fucking awesome, and it would just be funny. It would just be funny for Ben Simmons to kind of lose, because I'll give him credit. He was like, "Fuck it," because they since our last episode they didn't pay him the 8. He was due like 8.5.
Yeah.
And the Sixers said, "Fuck it, we're not paying you until you report."
I think they're right, but also I do feel for the Philly fans because it's like, what have you been doing the last few years? Trusting the process. You built this through the draft. You did this right, and so it does suck that this is part of the process. Like they don't tell you this.
Well, there's no trust. The process is clearly a fucking failure. Like I mean, how can you look at the process?
If he stayed there, I mean, they could, like, that's a team that could potentially win the championship this year if he stayed there, I think.
Dude, they are fucking cursed. And you look at Markelle Fultz in and of himself, that motherfucker.
That could have been Jason Tatum
insane.
And a pick.
Dude,
yeah.
It's insane. We just kind of gloss over that shit. But it's like, this is a fucking, not only did they get one of their number 1 picks was a bust, right? Like, listen, I feel sorry for Markelle. Something happened in his fucking brain, and the kid can't shoot. It sucks. Everyone was talking about him like a surefire number 1 pick. Danny Ainge.
I think he'll still have a good NBA career, but
sure.
But as a number 1 pick, like, dude, even having Lonzo Ball right now, even having who's obviously not Tatum, but Tatum going 3rd, it's like,
dude, if the Sixers had Lonzo Ball with Simmons, that would be a very interesting team.
I watched Tatum in college though, and I did not think he'd be this great.
Yeah, no, certainly not. And look, we're not saying they should have picked Tatum. We're just saying, like, look at their bad luck, where it's like your number 1 pick is a fucking Busta-Runsky. The second number 1 pick, you have him fucking locked up for 4 years. Yeah. On a max contract. Mm-hmm. He says, I don't give a fuck. I'm not. He won't dunk over Trae Young in the fucking playoffs. And he cops an attitude about it and won't even show up to play for Philly. And now he's like, trade me for fucking, D'Angelo Russell. I don't care. Get me out of here. And
that's
then your third.
Who would you rather have, D'Angelo or McCollum? I take McCollum.
Yeah, I would say McCollum for sure as play. Like, in terms of who I've seen come up in big playoff moments, CJ without question. But I also just say, and then you look at Joel, who is all you could ask for in terms of a fit for the city. Like, clearly they love him, but he's also a center, right? He's a huge 7-footer who you've got to be exceptionally talented to make that work in this league, and he is. But he's got durability issues, and who knows how long his prime is going to last. So it's like their best. After so many years of the fucking process, the only surefire hit that Philly got was an MVP level player, but one who is constantly injured and playing constantly injured and like, how long is he going to last? So I just feel bad. Philly is just fucked. They got completely.
On some level, McCollum could be really interesting for them. Like if they just had surrounded all that shooting on Embiid.
I just don't think it's happening, dude. I don't think it's happening anytime soon.
But damn, I just also think about how much of a shot their defense would take, and that's why they scared me in the playoffs, because that defense with Simmons and Embiid and Danny Green and Tobias, all these guys who played hard D, you're like, oh, this is like a legit.
I don't know about Tobias and Danny Green, but just
Danny Green plays good D.
I don't know, man. I think he probably did 5. He probably did 5 years ago. How old is Danny Green?
He's old.
I think between Simmons and Embiid, it almost doesn't matter who the other guys are. That's how good those 2 guys are at defense. But yeah, whatever. We don't have to talk about Philly anymore. We talked
about them too much.
I just wanted to say, I think I just wanted to put that out there where in my mind, his trade value might pop up a little bit as people forget about that playoff performance. But there's some other news we should get to. Andrew Wiggins finally vaccinated. I don't know if you saw that, Sam. My man.
I did. Steve Kerr said it to the media, right? Yeah.
Yeah, my man said, I'm not trying to lose half my salary. So I actually don't believe in anything that I said. I was resolutely devout about 3 days ago when I realized I might lose $20 million or however, $12 million, however much it was.
It's tough to be overpaid and anti-vax.
Yeah.
Like that. It's tough to have a bad contract where it's like we're talking about number 1 overall picks. Andrew Wiggins.
He got the second extension. Yes.
I saw Enes Kanter on the news saying like how LeBron needs to step up and tell people to get that shot. He's like, you're a role model. I was like, all right, Enes.
Yeah, Enes. Oh, even though LeBron was retweeted Draymond's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
He brought up the polio vaccine. He's like, I don't ask if you're like getting the polio vaccine. You're like, well, there's a good reason for that. Yeah, because people got the polio vaccine.
Yeah, and then he was like, that's like me being mad at my teammate if he goes to be with his wife when his child is born. It's like, that is not like that in literally any way.
Yeah. It's one of the worst analogies I've ever heard. Yeah. And people are like, this is as real as it gets. And you're like, yeah, really ignorant, really not informed.
Oh yeah, I'm going to get pregnant because you were around your pregnant wife. You might get me pregnant because you were around your pregnant wife. It's like, what the fuck
missed one game to be with your baby as opposed to getting like old coaches on your team sick.
Yeah, maybe a coach dies and your team you miss an entire season because of what? Again, there isn't even a reason any of them have ever explained. Like if you were to give me an actual reason about even if it was just like even if they're just like I don't want to do it. Oh, the best was like, who's the guy? He played for the Knicks for a second, and then he went to Dallas. Is it Burks? No, Trae Burke. Yeah. He had one of the fucking dumbest responses I've ever seen. He's not getting vaccinated, and because he plays in Texas, no one gives a fuck. Like they're not gonna make you. And apparently the rules are different if you live in a city. Whether depending if you're a regular employee, the rules are different.
That whole anti-vax team for a minute was looking kind of tight. I mean, you get Draymond on there, you get a little D'Angelo Russell on there.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah,
Kyrie.
Let me see if I can pull up his fucking they want to trade Burke amid COVID vaccine drama. Yeah, good luck. Who wants? And also, you gotta. You know what? I kind of respect Trae Burke.
You gotta be Kyrie's level.
I respect Trae Burke because he finally, he was in the wilderness. He was trying to catch on to a team, and he found a pretty good spot in Dallas where he comes in, and when they need a little scoring, it's like he's their second unit kind of scorer with the right matchup, and he carved out a nice little niche. Carlisle gave him a try in that fucking Clippers series. It didn't fucking work at the end, but
he's a talented player.
And he finally found somewhere, and then he's like, you know what, fuck. Like to me, I actually respect him a lot more than I do Andrew Wiggins, even though this is his logic is so fucking hilarious. Listen to this. I respect the freedom of choice in which everybody has that birthright. Incredible sentence. Therefore, this is a personal choice and preference that my family and I have always abided by. I believe more in holistic and naturalistic medicine rather than the drug industry or what we know today as pharmaceuticals. He's putting quotes around these words. I don't have any issues with the choices my teammates have made.
Mr. Wiggins, you have prostate cancer. Cool. Get me some honey ginger juice shots. I believe in holistic medicine.
Yeah, dude,
okay. Well, the next time you tear your ACL, you don't get a trainer.
Exactly. You could put some fucking charge your fucking rose quartz in the moon overnight, and then rub it on your fucking ACL after you sprain it.
Hey, do you know how Derrick Rose got better and is still playing? Doctors.
Yeah. It is pretty fucking funny, man. I plan on closely and I'll give him credit. He's like, look, I'll follow every protocol. I'll follow every guideline. Like, he'll get tested, which it's like he actually, like, what he, now don't get me wrong, what he believes is fucking stupid, but he does believe something, right?
Sure.
And he's standing by it. And he's also saying, I'll follow every protocol. Because like, if I was one of these players that was slightly anti-vax and they were like, hey, if you take the vaccine, you don't have to get up at 7 a.m. on a game day to get tested, I would be like, okay, fuck what I believe in.
For sure.
You know,
for
like
sure.
and you don't
just by inconvenience. I mean, that's really how they got some of these NFL players to take the vax, is by inconveniencing them.
Oh yeah. And the NFL was like, yo, you motherfuckers, if you have a COVID outbreak, you forfeit the game. And then the NFL was like, guess what, boys? You're getting vaccinated or you're not playing for this fucking team. So it's like, that was a way for them to like kind of force the decision, you know, down one level without, you know, coming down on having to make it themselves. But, you know, I honestly, I mean,
now the military is getting vaxxed even. I mean, you heard people in the military for a while being like, you can't tell me what to do. And I'm like, aren't you in the army?
Isn't the entire job being told what to do? And if you look back, if you give your superior officer a weird look, they can just abuse you physically. It's like, but you signed off all your free fucking will, you fucking idiot. All for what? To go to fucking Iraq and then come back and have your fucking your fat wife. Oh, guess what? She's pregnant. But you've been deployed for 12 months. How does that math work? Like, enjoy the fucking Mustang you bought with your fucking signing bonus, though.
I do think the Warriors are going to be interesting because like they just need to like stay above water until Clay comes back. And if Clay is anywhere near Clay.
Yeah, in terms of what I'm kind of interested in the offseason, or I'm sorry, the preseason, because like I said, you know, we went through some of those games, and you know, I am really pumped to watch these fucking games, and I think just tonight, the Warriors play the Blazers. I kind of want to see what these young Warriors players look like, because I'm on the record as saying I think they fucked up. They should have traded.
And so is Draymond, if you didn't hear.
Oh, I didn't hear.
No, it was hilarious. They asked him what he thought about going young and not kind of going all in. And he just said, well, you know, this is the direction they're taking and we kind of are going with it. But he said, historically, this hasn't worked.
Yeah, no. And he's right. Yeah.
That's about basketball. Draymond makes a lot of great points.
Yeah, I'm listening to Draymond when it comes to basketball. He's a genius when it comes to basketball. But you know, I don't know about immunology. But I'm interested to see what these I want to see what these young Warriors are about, and they're those guys, you know, in particular, are probably like the young guys that could completely swing things. You know, it's like if fucking what the fuck is his name, Kuminga, you know, if that motherfucker, although it doesn't seem like he can. But if he can do anything for you, that's something, you know.
He's very young, but I mean, he's
super young,
got a high upside for sure.
Yeah, and you have fucking what's the other fucking guy's name? They're the ones that drafted Moody, right? Yeah. Moses Moody. If he can fucking do a little
high
something.
Upside, but Steph ain't gonna be Steph forever, you know.
And I'm interested in you know, Bielitsa. Like they got him. Yeah. I don't know. You know, they also have Gary Payton II, who is a horrible. He played for the Bucks for a little bit, so I watched a few of his games. He's really good at defense, but he could just not do shit on offense.
He's the son of the glove.
And he's the son of the glove. Zach Lowe called him the Mitten, which is a great nickname. the Mitten is a great nickname.
I love it.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Preseason, I'm really interested in the Warriors because it's like between Kuminga, Moody, and then the old guys, Bielitsa, and especially Otto Porter Jr., who that motherfucker was just collecting a max and being injured and just fucking whores for the last 3 years.
But that guy with motivation who can kind of shoot the three and might be playing the four for them, he could be interesting.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm interested
and
to
Bielitsa,
how it
who
looks.
can stretch the floor as well. I mean, this is like kind of an interesting team.
And I put it up for, I said I tweeted out through the Pod Don't Lie account, do you guys want, we're starting the regular things, do you broke motherfuckers want us to talk about anything? And actually our esteemed producer. And actually, we should mention to the fans, Harry, our esteemed former producer, Hard Dick Harry. Our schedules didn't exactly line up, and this motherfucker has gone on to bigger and better things with an actually good podcasting network. He's producing for Blue Wire right now, so we want to wish all our best to the Hard Dick legend, Harry himself. But he did, like a dumb bitch, ask one of the worst questions I've ever heard in my life, and it's, are the Warriors back to being the most lovable team in the NBA? We reject your premise entirely, Harry.
Sure.
They were never the most lovable team in the NBA.
But we have actually talked about this where we say, do they have goodwill with Clay missing 2 straight years and coming back? Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Wiggins did everything he could to hurt.
Dude, if Wiggins had fucking not gotten vaccinated and cost them the comeback season, that would have been awesome. But
Wiggins as kind of like a piece now, just kind of has to do that Harrison Barnes type role, and they might be kind of interesting again.
Well, Wiggins just has to, like, here's the thing. They just don't have that many good-ass players. And Wiggins is not a great player, but he's like the best regular motherfucker. He's like an all-star role player. I'll put it that way. Where it's like his numbers are not
who's getting paid like an all-star franchise player.
And he's absolutely like, he will never see this money again, right? He's making holy shit, he's making $31 million this year alone.
That's why he got the bag. But
that's fucking hilarious. But he's he's a 20-point-a-game scorer.
What's the name of the big man again out of Memphis? Who they have?
Wiseman.
I like him. I think he's got potential.
I'll lump Wiseman in there too. But no, Draymond is absolutely correct in that I think they completely fucked up and that they should have traded the young guys for some fucking pieces. And you have Steph Curry, and I think what this is ultimately what's going to bring them down is tech bro hubris, because they have their fucking dumbass rich billionaire owner who thinks he's smarter than everyone. He thinks they're going to draft these lottery picks and that they're just going to go from the Steph Curry generation to the fucking Jonathan Kuminga generation or the Wiseman generation. And it's like, bro, that's not how basketball fucking works. You're not a genius. You're not.
Well, here's the thing. It's almost like Spurs level shit where they're like, we don't need to bring people in. We'll have the young guys learn from the vets and hopefully just pass it down. That's what they're going for.
But the Spurs also completely understood, like, they understood how to get like those, like their thing is built on finding an inefficiency. They were really smart to find European players that they saw something that other people did not see in. Let's be honest. And they were very smart to see.
Maybe they're hoping they got Kawhi Leonard with Kuminga here.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And Kawhi was their last stroke of brilliance where it's like, that was a brilliant draft day trade, clearly. And
none of these picks
if
were
he
top
wasn't
10,
so
by the
weird.
Way. Because it was George Hill they traded for Kawhi.
Yep.
They also, Tony Parker was a late pick. Manu was the second round.
Manu was a second rounder. That's what I'm saying. The Warriors have not shown any of that. If anything,
Draymond and what was Clay, an 11th pick or something like that?
No. I'm saying with was this owner around? I mean, I don't understand. I don't even remember
who was.
Well, okay, you're right. For that is how they built these guys, but they haven't shown it in the second round. Like the second time, it's like this has been Wiseman was the second pick, and if anything, what they've shown is a clear mistake that they should have fucking drafted. The ball, fucking Melo Ball.
Yeah.
And then these guys, it's like, okay, they were what was it, like the 7th and 14th picks or whatever the fuck they had, 7th and 12th, some shit like that. Like, bro, package that, trade that for a fucking guy. You got Steph Curry, you got the tail end of Draymond's prime, you got whatever Clay's got left. You're fucking stupid for trying to like go from this to the other generation seamlessly. It's not how it works. Shit is not a video game. But I'm happy. Fuck the Warriors. Yeah, it's funny if they squander the end of Steph Curry's prime, as far as I'm concerned.
But at the same time, I'm happy if I want Clay to come back. So
I want Clay to come back, sure. But I would think it'd be funny if the Warriors, they had this fucking, like I said, tech bro hubris that they know they have it all figured out. They can't realize they got fucking lucky, and they should milk that as much as possible.
But don't you think the West is kind of wide open all again?
Which is exactly the reason you should have fucking gotten veterans instead of young
guys. I agree
guys.
with you. Well, they did. They got Iggy, but they should have gotten younger
I'm not
veterans.
talking that level of veteran. I'm not talking an assistant coach that you have to pay like a fucking player.
But then you look at teams like, the Lakers obviously could contend, the Phoenix Suns again.
Yeah, I think this is a good,
Denver. If we get a healthy Jamal Murray back,
we will not get a healthy Jamal Murray back. I don't think so. Everything.
Not at all?
I don't think he might not play the whole season. Is what it looks like from the shit that I've been reading a little bit here and there. They're not going to rush him back, that kind of shit. So
then I think
yeah, exactly. But that's all the more.
Kawhi is probably not coming back.
Kawhi's not coming back, and you're right. That's all the more reason these dumb fuckers should have gone all in on some vets for the next couple of years.
We really could get the Lakers Nets. It really could happen.
I think so, yeah, because you look at these teams and it's like, you know what? The more I look at it, the more I kind of think the Jazz have a very, very fucking serious chance.
They trick us into thinking that every year.
I didn't think it last year at all. I said they were incredibly bitch made and that they had no chance. But this year, because of what you're saying, and maybe this is us disrespecting the Phoenix Suns a little bit too, because it's like, do I think the Suns were just in the finals, but at the same time, it's like I think I would pick the Lakers over them. I would pick the Jazz. That's a tough one. The reason I say that about the Jazz,
Phoenix over the Jazz, but the Lakers with a healthy AD, it's like I think that's why they lost. I think they were going to win that series, and then AD went down.
And then you think of the best case scenario for the Golden State Warriors if they had gotten some like veteran help and traded like first round picks and shit, and Wiseman even. You're telling me they're not as like, if everything breaks right, they can't be as good as this current Lakers, these current Jazz, or these current Suns? Absolutely, they could have.
Because Draymond,
I don't think they will now.
Draymond is so money in the playoffs, and I'm not saying he's stopping AD, but that's a fucking annoying. That's an annoying assignment.
He might be the best player to guard him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he
because
really
he's
might
so
be.
annoying.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the answer. Hard Dick Harry.
Yeah.
Fuck you and the Warriors. We wish you the best, though. We love you, brother.
We wish you the best, Harry.
And shouts out to our current producer,
Sean.
Stiff Schlong Sean. Thank you, folks. Took me a while off the top of my head, but we've got
pretty good.
We got Triple S after HDH.
You're like a comedian on stage. You're like, give me anyone. I can do any name. Give me a name.
Stiff Schlong Sean. That's a bit of a tongue twister.
You're at a carnival. Try to stump the amazing sex names guy.
It won't cost you anything. Just please don't call the police. Anyway, I had a couple other stories I wanted to talk about. We talked a little bit about the where is it? I have too many tabs open here. Going to our beloved Knicks. Hilariously, I want to shout out Luca Vildoza, who got
don't do
cut.
This to me. Well, that's how good we're gonna be. Luca Vildoza couldn't make the team.
Luca, if fucking superstar Vildoza, but I have to salute him because he got paid $3.6 million last year. $2 of that million went to his buyout from the Spanish club. But basically, for being a New York Knick for 6 months during the offseason, or not even 6 months, 3 or 4 months, he made $1.6 million. So
wow.
To watch the Hawks series from the bench, and the reason they cut him is he sprained his ankle in Summer League, and Tibbs was basically like, sorry, bro. There's too much. We got too much talent. Kevin Knox needs a fucking roster spot, brother.
Tibbs treats players like horses. You twist an ankle.
You're like, yeah. They had to convince him not to shoot him. They're like, no, Tibbs, we can send him back to Spain. It's okay. But this is good news.
I really hope Kevin Knox, like, he's still very young. I hope he just like emerges as like a good role playing shooter or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know about that, brother.
Well, the good news is we have so much depth we don't even need him to right now. But like,
I was gonna say this is probably, to me, this looks like them showing confidence in Miles McBride, who was our
dude. Are you kidding me?
Deuce looked fucking great in Summer League, and they already signed him to a guaranteed deal, so he's only going to be on the roster. And I think that's probably the reason why you're like, all right, Vildoza sprained his fucking ankle in Summer League. Apparently he reported to training camp in a boot, and Tibbs was like, no, fuck you. Sorry, your weak body has betrayed you. And so this is also good news for, the other guys trying to make the fucking roster between Dwayne Bacon, Kevin Knox, Wayne Selden. I think, Knox, I believe this is his last contract. The last year.
Well,
on the contract.
I'm rooting for Knox just because we drafted him. I still have hope, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
But I don't even know if Knox he's not part of our 10-man rotation as of now.
I don't think so. No,
we have too much depth. And then
bro, he's fucking battling to make a roster spot. Didn't you hear? Like he really is.
No, for sure. But I'm just bummed because he had so much promise after that summer league. It is hard to let go. But
yeah, I mean, also the Knicks had so many rookies this year. I mean, a lot of them will play in.
But he'll also probably now be playing like the 3 or the 4. And Obi's probably going to get those minutes if you're looking at Obi.
Exactly. Obi's definitely going to. So let's look at what our rotation was probably likely going to be, right? You got Kemba, RJ, Fournier,
Julius, Mitchell.
And let's say Mitch. Let's say Mitch.
That's
Nerlens 5.
Is coming off the bench.
And then we have Nerlens, D Rose, Burks probably, right? Taj Gibson probably is in there.
Maybe.
I mean, it's going to be those 3
He's
are going
to definitely a lock. Yeah.
And then you have and then it's like who else?
Quickly, man.
Oh, Quickly. How the fuck could I forget my boy Quickly? Yeah, that's 10 guys right there. And then plus you have Deuce, plus you have fucking, I think Dwayne Bacon.
We're
honestly,
deep.
I think Dwayne Bacon is. I've always sort of liked him. Maybe it's because his name is Bacon. It could be that simple. But I don't. I remember him on Charlotte and being like, "That guy looks pretty good." He's also his name sounds delicious, but.
You also like Darvin Ham?
Give me some bacon. Yeah, I love Darvin and Dwayne. They should open a fucking bed and breakfast together. Darvin and Dwayne's bacon and ham. They should open a restaurant. Darvin and Dwayne's bacon and ham. I'm in, dude. An all pork restaurant. You Jews and Muslims need not apply to this restaurant.
We get an NBA player with the last name Bagel. That's going to be my guy. But until then,
that would be great. The Anthony Bagel. I need that guy. So yeah, and then Quentin Grimes looked pretty good. Like
I like him a lot. He's got like Danny Green like potential.
Yeah, even Jericho Sims. I know he's a center. We got a lot of those, but it's like.
Have you seen his hops? He's got a little Mitchell on him.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's like so. There's a. I just think they should have fucking cut Kevin Knox. If I'm being completely honest, but he's still relatively young. He's already. Oh, he's 22. Goddamn, he's been here forever.
Oh,
so
he was the youngest in the draft when we got him. Time flies, man.
Time motherfucking flies with Kevin Knox.
I was just on the phone with my lawyer, who's a huge Knicks fan. That's probably why I'm with him. That's all it takes. He could be ripping me off. He's like got season tickets, so he's telling me about it. He's like, I get my son a New Jersey every year because he's growing, so he doesn't fit. Right. And he said he got him a few years ago. It was Kevin Knox.
Oof.
Tough one. And he said, "Yeah, that was a tough decision." But then last year was RJ, so I'm like, he's on the right track.
Yep.
And this year he's looking like he wants Obi. So.
Oh, that's cute. Fuck it. I'm rooting for Obes.
I'm rooting for Obi, and I think in the Garden he's gonna be electric.
He is the kind of player that I was at the fucking playoff game that I was at, and I think just the games we went to too. It's like he was a lot like. With crowds, he's a different player because he's a
crowd player. He's a crowd player, energizer. Yeah. He
couple alley-oops a game.
He could be an off the bench guy that just is electric.
Yeah, and so tomorrow, the Knicks will be playing the Pacers in preseason. I'm excited to see that.
Who are a sleeper team to get Ben Simmons, by the way.
Interesting. What would you trade for them?
I don't even know. I guess you trade anything but Sabonis.
Well, if you're the Sixers, you probably absolutely want my guy. You want fucking the guy from Virginia that I always talk about, Malcolm Brogdon.
Oh, Brogdon, yeah.
But then, dude, that's the problem. If TJ Warren was healthy, and you're telling me they could get TJ Warren and Brogdon, I'd be listening. But TJ Warren is still hurt.
Would you do that trade straight up?
I think you need more, dude. I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like. Oh, I don't know.
Brogdon had a great year last year.
Brogdon, yeah. I think I don't know, but that's kind of the sort of the deal I would be listening to.
And you lose some defense obviously with Brogdon, but he can hit the three, which is kind of nice.
And the kind of point guard those motherfuckers need to get him in the. But he's also injury prone and an older type of guy. And TJ Warren too. It's like he's injured, and then it's like
I really like watching Brogdon's game though. He's a fun player to watch.
But he's just like that's the shit I'm talking about. Where it's like just the best version of Ben Simmons is just like you're not getting value right now. So anyway, one other thing I wanted to talk about is I wanted to talk about a quote from I want to talk about Nikola Jokic and an interesting quote that I saw from Media Day, from Denver Media Day, which, let me see if I can I thought I had it right here. God damn it, where the fuck did I put it? Let me see if I can fucking so Nikola Jokic was asked about horses. He was asked about, where the fuck are my notes? God damn it. Oh, here we go. Ready? Here's his quote from Media Day. I like the smell of them. The best feeling ever is when you feed them. The sound of them eating in the stable is the best sound you can ever hear. It's just something that I think just a horseman can feel. And that's a quote from Media Day at Nikola Jokic, an avowed lover of horses, which begs the question, do you think Nikola Jokic fucks horses? Sam?
I think he passes on horses.
You think he passes on
and
horses?
He gives them he sets up his friends with horses.
You think he gets the horses hard, but he doesn't finish them off.
No. Wait.
I'm just saying.
Fuck horses. Do you think now you're saying he's getting them hard? He's servicing.
Oh, maybe he is. I didn't think about it. He's
maybe he's unselfish. I think he's got the skills to do it, but he doesn't need to. He
seems like, and here's the thing. I went back and I read more about he's loved horses since he was 12 years old, he says. He bought his first racehorse, Dreamcatcher, after his first season in the NBA in 2016, which had been a dream of his since he was a boy. And he says, I just enjoy being around them and seeing their different characteristics. You get to see when they work out that they are basically like us. They are athletes, sprinters. They are magnificent creatures. Sam, this sounds like a man that wants to fuck a horse. And he's the right size for it. You know what I'm saying? He's 7.
As David Tell always says, they're the best animal to fuck because you always have a ride home. Remember that bit?
That's a fucking great bit.
That's one of the classic jokes. Man, I don't know.
And then here's some other thing. This is a story earlier from a website called blicksport.rs, sport.blick.rs, which I had to have translated off Google Translate. And this is I got this off some guy named Alec Gwynn on Twitter. Nikola Jokic's stable Dreamcatcher has been suspended by the Equestrian Club for 6 months after their star horse Amy Del Duomo was contentiously disqualified from the most recent race. Members of Stala Dreamcatcher allegedly attacked the judges, knocking one out cold. Jokic's brother Strahinaya is said to have been cursing from the stands as well.
You don't want to fuck with the Jokic brothers. That brother looks like he's a problem.
The Jokic brothers were out there roughing up referees in horse racing. They got a 6-month ban.
Have you seen Jokic's brother?
Oh yeah, dude. They look like fucking.
That's the dude who made him Jokic.
Absolutely, dude.
It's always that older brother, and apparently they live in the same complex in Denver, and people just see them in the elevator. Imagine walking the elevator and you just see 2 of Nikola Jokic's.
Dude, yeah, Strahinaya Jokic. He's been arrested for choking a woman. Jesus Christ.
Oh boy, that ain't
Took
good.
a bit of a dark turn there. Not really that fun to joke about. This was in October 2019.
That ain't good.
We're gonna go ahead and skip this news story.
Yeah.
But let's just say, Jokic. Look, if I had to pick a guy that definitely fucks horse in the NBA, if you had to pick a guy that fucks horses, he seems to be right at horse pussy level as a 7'2" guy. There's no need for a step stool. You're right there. I'm just saying, dude, something to think about the former, the reigning MVP.
This is the only thing that could stop his a return MVP season is sidetracked by horses, or maybe this is what gives him his powers. We don't know.
That's true.
I mean,
that's true. Maybe the secret to being good at NBA basketball is getting horse pussy, and he's the only guy. That's why it's like he just was like a fat regular center, and then he just got a little horse pussy before he went to the NBA, and he was like, "I won't see you for a year," and he was like, "I will miss you," and then he got ahead of himself, and he started kissing the horse, and he started fucking it, and then he got to the NBA, and he was incredible. Only one way to find out, Sam. I think I'm gonna go fuck a horse and try out for a G League team.
This is like the dark version of like Mike.
I find an enchanted Serbian horse pussy and I fuck it while I'm out apple picking.
I'm just watching the game like, damn, Stav can shoot. This is crazy.
I'm dunking. I'm just 5'7" dunking, fucking lighting them up from 3.
Just rock the cradle on a fast break. I'm like, damn.
So it's something to think about, folks. If you've ever wanted to be good at basketball, maybe try fucking some horse pussy or horse cock. I don't know. I can't.
You're getting arrested. I wanted to make the NBA.
I just wanted to make the league. Local man, yeah, a disgraced comedian caught violating multiple bestiality laws in upstate New York. I'm getting
they
the
give you
shit kicked out of me.
superpowers. I swear,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Sure
yeah.
they
I
do.
went to Amish country. I'm just getting the shit kicked out of me by a bunch of fucking Mennonites after I fucked their horse. They're stomping me. Fuck. Well, folks. Oh, do we have anything else to talk about? Any other big story? There was this New Orleans story about. I didn't read the whole story because NOLA.com tried to make me pay $1 to read it, and I have journalistic integrity, and I'll never pay any money to make this show better. I want that. That's our solemn promise. We'll pay to have our dick jokes animated into Instagram videos and Twitter videos, but we will not pay to learn anything about the NBA. Okay,
respect, dude.
And shout out to Stiff Schlong Sean for doing all that animation, by the way.
Appreciate you, Sean.
But that's where we're spending our money. We're not spending it learning anything. So there was an article talking about how everyone in New Orleans just kind of doesn't fuck with David Griffin. And in it, I suppose, what I can tell from context clues of stories of other articles that aggregated that article is that David Griffin apparently there's a rumor that David Griffin apparently tried to win over Zion by playing the piano in Zion's room, like serenading him with a piano. But then Zion at Media Day was like, "Come on, man, I would never let another grown man come to my room and play me piano."
That is a fun image, though. He's just in there like, always look on the bright side of life. And Zion's like, what the fuck?
So I was like, get the fuck out of here, man. Which begs the question, I see where Zion's coming from, but at the same time, you're telling me there's no grown man? Like if Yanni wanted to come into my hotel room and play me a personal concerto, I'm listening, dude. You know what I mean?
Dude, if Tony Bennett started singing to me, 95-year-old Tony Bennett, I'm listening, man.
He can come into my hotel. Although Tony Bennett, that's hard. He might expire in your hotel room. Then you got dead Tony Bennett in your suite, kind of ruining the mood.
He came to sing to me.
Yeah.
They're looking at your rap sheet. You're the guy who fucked horses.
That's right, horse fucker. You're going down for murder of a beloved icon. No, for the last time I tried to get superpowers from horse pussy. I love Tony Bennett. I wasn't trying to fuck him at all. They're like, what? Fuck. Well, folks, I think that's gonna do it for us. You got a couple.
I'm in Indianapolis this weekend at Helium. Come out. I'll shit on your Pacers, baby.
Shit, dude, you're at Indianapolis, huh? You should fly in early to watch the preseason game.
Sounds like a great idea.
or maybe they're playing at MSG. I have to start looking at my calendar and seeing if I'm in any NBA cities and maybe flying in a day early to catch some games.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, folks, thank you so much for listening. We're back. This feels good. This felt like a real return to form. Couple Bukake analogies. Couple bestiality. 2 separate bestiality riffs, folks. We're coming in hot for you. Thank you so much for listening. We're excited to be back. We can't wait for this fucking NBA season. We will be back at some point. Look, I got to be honest. Our Patreon schedule is going to be a little more up in the air because Me and Sammy are both.
Because we're up in the air, baby.
We're always traveling Thursdays and Fridays. So it's going to be a little variable here and there, but we will try and get as regular a schedule as possible. Believe that from us, and we will have 2 episodes a week throughout the NBA season. So thank you so much for listening. We're back. Listen, we had the hard Dick 1600 last season. Let's see if we can get the Hard Dick 2000 in the first half of the season. You know what I'm saying?
I think we could do it easily.
I think we could do the Hard Dick 2000 no problem. And remember, at 2000, our Patreon pledges, we have proposition Stan Van Gundy for sex. So if you want us to do that, you have to sign up. You have to sign up for the Patreon.
Stav is coming up with the ideas of the Patreon. I feel we should get that out there.
If you want us to tweet at Stan Van Gundy and ask him for an MMM threesome, then you have to sign up for the Patreon. $5 a month. You get 4 bonus episodes a month. It's the steal of the century, and you're going to make Sam very uncomfortable if you do it as well. So that's enough.
But unfortunately, by signing on to a pod with Stav, this is just part of the game. So this is what happens.
Thanks for listening, guys. We will be back later this week with the bonus episode. Talk to you then. Bye.
Bye.